This week's Fan Sharp Focused, we are focused on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who have a big game coming up against the Clemson Tigers. Zach Zook joins us here on Fan Sharp. Zach, let's talk about these two teams last week. Clemson getting out of a scare against Boston College, came back late to win. No Trevor Lawrence because of COVID. Notre Dame a little bit easier win last week. Maybe they moved to 6-0. Big time matchup this week, but possibly seems like no Trevor Lawrence coming into this game. So what do you expect from this one?
Yeah, no Trevor Lawrence. He will be unavailable to play for Clemson. Tested positive for the coronavirus last Thursday. Per ACC protocols, has to should be out for at least 10 days. So he is gone. It'll be the backup quarterback. I don't take too much away from the BC game. BC, tough opponent, played him tough. The quarterback, Jerkovich, for them had a really good game. But they had a couple of weird negative plays that kind of skewed things in BC's direction with, I believe it was the ETN fumble and a couple of other, big instances in that game that turned the tide and the momentum that they had to then later overcome. And they did, and they got the win. And I think that's, at the end of the day, what programs like Clemson do when they're matched up against inferior opponents such as Boston College. On the Notre Dame side of things, they handled Georgia Tech. No surprise there. Notre Dame, I don't really think has been tested to this point yet in the season. They get the close win at Louisville was the only time they were really in a game. I thought that Pitt would play him tougher, but no Kenny Pickett for them, and the offense just kind of fell apart against Notre Dame. So this is certainly Notre Dame's first test, and I don't think Clemson has played an opponent as strong as Notre Dame either.
So what do you expect from that one? I mean, Notre Dame going against Clemson, but no Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you kind of saw the change in the teams that the Clemson Tigers are with Trevor Lawrence and without. So do you think another week with this backup quarterback will give them the opportunity to possibly take down Notre Dame, or do you see the Fighting Irish taking down the Tigers?
I still see Clemson in this one. I was a little bit surprised with the game line in this matchup, but I was pretty impressed with the kid Clemson put in lieu of Trevor Lawrence, and they still have Travis Etienne. And I think that this is kind of those games where Notre Dame has to kind of prove to the nation that they've taken a step forward as a program and can hang with the Clemsons and the Alabamas of the world. We all remember the national championship game when Notre Dame had Manti Te'o on the roster and Alabama just throttled them. So I don't know if they have the athletes to match up with Clemson across the board, because if they're going to beat Clemson, they're going to have to do it the way BC was able to put up points, and that's through the air. So can Ian Book find Javon McKinley and the rest of that receiving core effectively and efficiently enough to down the Clemson Tigers? Because I really don't think that, despite how good Notre Dame's offensive line is, that they're going to be able to lean on that for 60 minutes against a Clemson Tigers team that has Travis Etienne on the other side.
Clemson Notre Dame coming up 6:30 on Saturday night. Should be a fun one. Zach, thanks so much, man.
Appreciate it, TJ.
And don't forget, if you'd like to bet legally in Indiana, Illinois, or Iowa, be sure to check out fansharp.com and look for your deposit bonus with promo code FORT. Fansharp. Root like a fan. Bet like a sharp.